When you reflect on past experiences and focus on learning from them, it makes the now even stronger, even more freaking powerful, because then you're applying that knowledge and information and data and experience into this minute, this freaking moment right now. That's how you change trajectory. That's how you create a freaking legacy that you don't have to wait a lifetime to start living. What's up, freaks? Welcome to another episode of the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And today is going to be part one of a three-part series, kind of our end of year, start of new year series that I like to do each year to break down for you. And this episode today is all about reflecting, reviewing, and revisiting the previous year. Then part two next episode will be about preview planning and preparing for the upcoming year. And then part three will all be about setting the intention and theme and your words for the year. I'm going to share mine. And as I work on mine, I'll share them with you and help you create your own. So this is part one of the three-part. Make sure you stay connected. This is all about cultivating a more mindful, intentional approach to the year of 2025 by reflecting on your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions from the year before. That's how we do it here on the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And before we kick it off, before we get started, make sure to check the link below for the Freak Mode 40. That's a free 40-day daily discipline and habit challenge that I guarantee will completely change and transform your life and set the tone for this upcoming year. There's no better way to kickstart the new year than with this 40-day daily discipline habit challenge, completely free course. Down below, just click the link in the description or in the pin post below. You could jump on that right away. That's all part of the Freak Father Alliance, where I help men create a life they don't need a vacation from, live a life people think they're lying about, and build a legacy that you don't have to wait a lifetime to start living. All right, so let's get into this reviewing, reflecting, and revisiting of the previous year. What this is all about is having some self-awareness. That's what reflection is, self-awareness. Constantly examining your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, so you can come up with and identify areas that you need improvement. Because then what we're going to do is take this data, information, and experience from 2024, next episode, and craft and create the ideal ultimate year to make next year even freaking better than this year. And that takes that self-awareness and reflection, but also just alignment with the way that your goals, your purpose, your life, the direction you want to go in, and reflecting on if your actions and behaviors are in alignment with this natural order of things to go in the direction of what your goals, your dreams, and your purpose is as a man. Also, this reflection also helps you focus on right freaking now, this present fucking moment. When you reflect on past experiences and focus on learning from them, it makes the now even stronger, even more freaking powerful, because then you're applying that knowledge and information and data and experience into this minute, this freaking moment right now. That's how you change trajectory. That's how you create a freaking legacy that you don't have to wait a lifetime to start living. Like I just mentioned, by doing this type of reflection where you are having self-awareness, you are in alignment, and you're focused on the freaking present. That's building a legacy right now, starting today, not waiting to your freaking deathbed to start building your legacy. So let's jump into this idea of review, revisiting, reflection. I'm pretty much going to give you prompts, and you can just pause this as you're listening to this and go write them down on your own, or just think of them in your head and as we're kicking through this, and then later reflect on it, write it down when you have some time. You should be having normal reflection time throughout your day, throughout your week, regularly, not just the end of the freaking year. This should be going on all year round. There's a Stoic quote that says, examine your life, watch it closely, what you're doing in it, and if you find it not to be in accord with nature, change it. That's from Epictetus, basically just urging you to have constant evaluation of your energy, of your actions, of your time, and of your freaking life. So let's start off with actions. Actions of 2024. What actions did you fail to take in 2024? Then let's also talk about in the section of action of connections. What connections did you fail to make that you wanted to make? Who did you not connect with or not connect with enough? And let's also part of action, right? What else? What are you really grateful for? That really should have been the first one. I always like to start with that. So gratitude should be first before those other two. What are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for and why? Like what, why, how is that connected to the big picture? Why are you grateful for those people and things and experiences, whatever it is? And then what actions did you fail to take in 2024? What connections did you fail to make in 2024? Just dive deep into those actions and then go into accountability. All right. What did you fail to take accountability for in 2024? And then what did you take accountability for? Give yourself some credit. And just because you say you're taking accountability for something doesn't mean it's necessarily a good thing. Maybe it's something, a disaster, a fuck up, a failure that you took accountability for. You should acknowledge that you took accountability for it so you know you're living in alignment with this ideal version of yourself, this ideal man that you claim you're trying to be. You need to check in and confirm that you've been holding yourself accountable, even for the shit, not just the good stuff. Don't just put the good stuff in there. So what have you taken accountability for? What did you fail to take accountability for? And what did you take accountability for? Then, all right, lessons of 2024. And what lessons did you learn? How did you learn them? What was that situation? That's why I said you need to go deep and dark. This right here is just on a podcast just to spark your freaking mind. Then you need to go deeper and darker. This is the kind of stuff I work with with my one-on-one coaches and with my men in the group, the Freak Father Alliance. We work on this together and I kind of walk them through it and help them through it. We talk about it, discuss it, break it down. So it's obviously a two-way interaction, not just like this is just a one-way, but put these answers down in the comments below. I want to hear about your answers to these questions also. So what lessons did you learn in 2024? How did you learn them? What was the situation? And how are you going to use that going forward into 2025? Like, for instance, one of my lessons was you can't play defense for too long. And you can only hold the line for so long before you lift up your fucking spear and go on the offensive and go on the attack. So I almost felt like 2024 for me was putting pieces into place here. You can call it defending, kind of keeping the fire and the flame burning, but not advancing, driving, attacking violently forward like it should be. So one of my lessons was you can only play defense for so long. Yeah, defense is important, but you need to go on the freaking offensive. You can't be overthinking things. You just need to fucking do it. Of course, with good intentions and doing the right thing, but don't hold freaking back. That was one of my lessons from 2024. So I'm going to share some of mine along the way with you here so you can get an idea of how to approach these yourself. Maybe spark something in your own mind of your own lessons or answers for the year for you. Then, all right, so those are the lessons you learned, right? What could you have done better in 2024? Was it maybe you could have done better in your marketing or maybe better in your communication, better in your relationships, better with in your family scheduling because you put too much stuff on the calendar for just the professional life but not the personal life. Maybe better in your fitness or your nutrition, and go deep into it. Don't just say my workouts, like write it out. Go deep and dark into it. My workouts. This is what I could have done better with my workouts. This is how it affected me. This is why I need to fucking do something about this. Maybe you didn't do enough traveling. Maybe you didn't do enough family time. Maybe better date nights you need, or you want to get more outdoors or more hikes or more whatever it is. What could you have done better in 2024? All right. Next is acceptance. What do you need to accept from 2024? Whatever happened. Maybe it was a slow year for you. Maybe you didn't make the money you want to make. Maybe you had to change jobs or make a move or whatever. Forced to make transitions, forced to make different changes. But what do you need to accept from 2024 and then take that to the next level like everything else? Like if I ask you what your purpose is, I want to know why. If I ask you what your intention is with something, I want to know what's the real intent behind that. So what do you need to accept from 2024? But how are you going to choose to think about this? How are you going to reframe it in your head so you can use it to your advantage and not to drag you down going into 2025? Like, what do you need to accept and how are you going to choose to think about it? Then part of this acceptance is, all right, what can I let go of today? What do I need to let go of today from 2024 or from the previous year, last month, or something maybe that's going on right now? What do you need to let go of? What's holding you back? What is just weighing you down, weighing your thoughts? You just need this is just a brain dump section. Like, what do you need to let go of? Maybe it's a side business. You were spending too much time and getting distracted from your main thing, and now your main thing is suffering, and maybe you need to let go of that side hustle for now while you focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing until you have shit rolling the way it should be, where you now have the energy and time and maybe resources and funds and money to work on this side thing. So what do you need to let go of from today? All right, let's continue on this acceptance section. What was your biggest disappointment from 2024? Maybe you didn't make the money you wanted to make. Maybe you didn't build the business the way you wanted to. Maybe you're not in the shape you wanted to be in. What was your biggest disappointment? And this might spark some different things in your head other than just the lessons that we learned or the ways you failed to take action. But what was your disappointment? Maybe it's other people. Maybe it's the bad attitudes of other people in your life or the people that you're putting yourself around. But what was your biggest disappointment of the year? And then this one. What burned you out? What overwhelmed you this year? What burned you out? And for me on this one, I just literally put nothing. I just didn't get burned out. Yeah, I had to accept things. Yeah, there were actions I fucked up on. Yeah, there were lessons I needed to learn and maybe some slight disappointments, but nothing that burned me out. I refuse to let things burn me out or overwhelmed or whatever. Not letting it happen. So that was the actions, accountability, and acceptance. Now, the fourth A of this episode is achievements. All right, achievements, accomplishments, the wins, the victories. What did you, and I want you to do this a couple different ways. First listen to this quote from Seneca. He says, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. That's from Seneca and Stoic philosopher. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. So you need to kind of know where you're going, where you came from, what you're doing. And that helps you get these accomplishments. That helps you understand your goals. But here's how I want you to think about your goals right now. I want you to first put 2 columns on a piece of paper, put personal and professional. And then you're just going to list out just on the top of your head without looking at any notes, without looking at any calendar or anything, just what do you remember from the year, personal and professional? Once you're done with that list, and you're not going to be able to do it right here, you have to pause this and do this on your own again in your deep, dark reflection time, which you should be scheduling on your calendar every freaking day. So you can do this kind of work. This is the foundational work that needs to be done as a man. So put those 2 columns, personal and professional. What are all the things that come to the top of your head without looking anything up? What are the top achievements, accomplishments, wins, victories, accomplished goals that you had? And then when you're done with both of those, put a line under wherever you finish off in both of those columns, draw a line under it. Now I want you to go through all your books, all your journals. I want you to go through your Google Calendar, go through your tasks list, go through whatever notes you have to really go deep week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter, and add in whatever else you missed. Like I did this same drill. Everything we do here on the show, I'm doing myself. I did this exact same drill, and I came up with only about 30% of my actual achievements personally and professionally in the top of my head. That means 60, 70% that I forgot about. Shit, there was a hike we did, one of the highest peaks in Southern California, Mount San Gorgonio or something, that we did an all day, like 12, 14 hour hike. And I completely forgot about that. Didn't even put it on my list of accomplishments on the personal side. Forgot about it. And there was tons of other ones. There was trips that I made to New York, New Jersey, I forgot about. There were podcasts that I traveled out that I was on. There were events that I ran even that I forgot about. So I went through my journals week by week, and at the end of each one, it has kind of a 12-week, 90-day review, and I looked at all those journals, and I went week by week in all my journals for the year. I have a stack right here next to me. It's just this exact journal right here, 4 of them from each quarter of the year. And I came up with so much more on the victories and the wins and the achievements and accomplishments for 2024. So first, I wanted you to see the difference of what you actually remember in the top of your head. And then after spending about 3 to 4 or 5 minutes doing that, go and cheat and go look it up and see what else you can add. And then you'll realize how important it is to track shit, how important it is to write this stuff down every day, to track your wins, to track your victories so that you can remember what you did and ride that wave of momentum and realize, give yourself a little more fucking credit than you're probably giving yourself. I did so much. Like I thought at first it was like a pretty slow year of 2024. based off of what I came with on the top of my head. And there was already some big things there. And as I went through and added more, I was like, holy shit, I did a decade's worth of work here in 1 year. Holy crap. Like I started pretty much fully kicked off the Freak Father Alliance men's mentorship group coaching program for fathers and men, personal discipline development, men's mentorship group. We fully started the IFFF, the Infinite Freak Fitness Formula, our online training program, the last workout program you ever need. I was a guest on over 20 or 25 podcasts, and 6 or 7 of those were in person traveling around. Made money on YouTube, finally got monetized and grew the YouTube channel to almost 100,000. I did this podcast, released it every single week of the year, and did tons of events, Project, Masogis, Squire programs, black sites, mini Masogis, LTDs, that's leadership and team development that I do for companies around the country. Did those and closed some of the biggest deals I've ever closed when it comes to those leadership programs. I spoke at several different events, big events, small events. I did interviews on Fox News and NBC and spoke at tons of other events and on different stages, and then also did speaking on tons of Zoom programs and ran 4 Zoom workshops myself, 4 implementation workshops. And I'm actually going to do a workshop kind of based off of this topic here at the beginning of the new year. I did my first men's No Excuses live event here in Southern California, where I just ran it myself just for a small group of men. It was a 2-day event where we're just together 24 hours a day, the No Excuses experience. I created tons of content, like a ridiculous amount of content, like so much content. I could pump content out every hour on the hour, 7 days a week and never run out of stuff. And of course I did trips and events and 6-week challenges and tons of marketing stuff and opt-ins. That's just the professional side. So I had to give it. I was like, holy shit, after I started really looking at everything I did, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to think about all those things you accomplished this year and give yourself some freaking credit. And then compare that. All right, so that's the professional side. What about the personal side? Is the personal side where you want it to be compared to the professional side? Did you do enough? Did you accomplish enough on the personal side? And I noticed my personal list was about just as long as a professional list, maybe even longer, but probably maybe not as big. A lot of them were smaller wins, like finally we doing some fixing some things around the house, fixing the jacuzzi, fixing the garages and things like that, and different workouts that we did, and finished a full year of EFA, the Eckert Freak Academy, homeschooling for the kids, our home lifing. Did a lot of guns and shooting and tons of things like that. But I realized the personal stuff, there was a lot. The list was long, but they weren't as big things as a professional. So it made me think, all right, I need to do some bigger professional things coming up in 2025. And that's kind of the point of this. First is give yourself some credit, and then also to see where's your time, where are your victories being weighed. So that's all there is to this section. It's a lot there. So go in and pause this as you're going. And I want to see the comments down below. What are some of your answers for some of these sections? I want to hear about your biggest wins from 2024. But don't forget, kickstart this year coming up with that free Freak Mode 40, the 40-day daily discipline habit challenge. The link right below in the comments and in the description of this video. Put it down. I want to hear about it. Your preview, planning, and preparing from the previous, or that's going to be the next one. Preview, plan, and prepare for 2025 based off of this information from the review, the revisiting, and the reflection of 2024. I will see you on the next episode. We will go to part 2 of this end of year, new year series. And in case no one told you yet today, you are freaking awesome. No excuses.